The mice that ate balance. Once upon a time, there lived a wealthy merchant named Javiernadana, in a village. He ran a big business. His village was situated near a river. Once, due to heavy rains, the river was flooded. One night, the whole village was submerged in neck-deep water. The crop, houses and factories in the village were destroyed and hundreds of people and cattle perished in the flood. The merchant had to suffer heavy losses in his business. He decided to shift to some other town to try his luck. His plan was to earn a lot of money and then come back to his native village to start his business again. Javiernadana had a heavy iron balance lying with him. It belonged to his ancestors. It was not possible for him to carry such a heavy thing along with him. So, before starting on his journey, he decided to keep this ancestral item with his friend Janek. He met Janek and requested him, "My friend, as you know, I'm leaving for some distant place to earn money, so that I could start my business once again when I come back. I have an old iron balance with me. Will you please keep it safe with you till I return?" Janek readily agreed to his friend's request and said, "Don't worry, I'll keep it safe for you. You can take it back after you return home." Javiernadana thanked Janek for his helping attitude. He kept the iron balance with Janek and left for some other distant town. A few years passed by. By this time, Javiernadana had done good business and had earned a lot of money. He returned to his native village, and went to his friend Janek's house to meet him. Janek showed his happiness in meeting Javiernadana. Both the friends talked together for hours. When it was time to leave, Javiernadana asked his friend to return his iron balance. At this, Janek looked sad and said, "Friend, I am sorry to say that I don't have your balance with me anymore. There are a lot of mice in my house. They ate up your balance." Javiernadana was surprised to hear Janek's explanation. How can mice eat iron? He thought to himself, but apparently he said something different. "Don't feel sorry, Janek. The mice have always proved a menace to everyone. Let us forget about it." "Yes," Janek said, "this is the only way out." He was happy that Javiernadana believed his words. In fact, he had expected a lot of heated arguments in this respect. While taking leave from his friend, Javiernadana said to Janek, "I'm going to temple to make an offering of ladus. Could you please send your son with me? I would like to send some ladus for you also. He would also look after my shoes outside the temple while I offer prayers inside." Janek asked his son to go along with Javiernadana. Then, Javiernadana, instead of taking Janek's son to temple, took him to a nearby hill and tied him with a big rock and came back home. When Janek didn't see his son return, he asked Javiernadana where his son was. "I'm sorry," said Javiernadana. "While your son was looking after my shoes outside the temple, a big vulture swooped down upon him and carried him away." "What nonsense!" shouted Janek. "How can a vulture carry off a young boy?" But Javiernadana repeatedly claimed that a vulture carried away Janek's son. The argument reached such a point that they began quarreling with each other, using dirty words. Ultimately, the matter had to be taken to the court. The judge listened to both the parties and ordered Javiernadana to bring Janek's son to the court, otherwise, he would be sent to jail. "My lord," said Javiernadana, "how can I, when a vulture has already carried away the boy?" "Shut up," the judge reprimanded Javiernadana. "How can a bird carry away a young boy in his talons?" "It can, my lord," said Javiernadana. "If mice can eat my iron balance, why can't a bird carry away a grown-up boy?" Then he narrated the whole story to the judge. The judge then asked Janek to tell the truth. He warned him that if he didn't tell the truth he would be sent to prison. At last, Janek admitted his guilt. The judge ordered him to return the iron balance to Javiernadana. He asked Javiernadana to return the boy to Janek.